you're observing or putting much emphasis on backgrounds in the Fifth edition that the default background is custom. They give you some examples in the book if you want to use those, but it is you are supposed to customize them. That is the default. Like I've heard, way back when I was actually following Adventure Arcana's forum and stuff like that, I noticed some people like hacking out of their ass pretty hard on that.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. you are supposed to customize these backgrounds.
We've got
Like
to get you in one of her roundtable uh, podcasts to push back on these guys. I think your insights are very helpful and very useful for me at least. But
okay.
anyways, I don't like the changes to the druid. I know that's the one thing I don't like. So I think that's the one reason I don't like the whole. Yeah.
I'll go ahead and mitigate that by saying that we
Please.
don't know what the fuck they're going to do with druids. Like
Good.
of the playtests that they put up, the druids, none of them were super well received,
Good.
and so they were still doing work on that and going to just the kind of based on the interviews they're talking about. Probably what they're going to do in Wild Shape is that they're going to have like a kind of the way it is now, but with a curated list of things they can turn into. That should be fairly extensive in the player's handbook. That seems to be the direction they're probably going to go with, but for Wild Shape anyway.
And so I know
there's not a great example of that in the playtest that they put out though, but based on the interviews that they were doing as part of the process, it seems like that's probably the way they're going to go.
And that's and again, it's all optional. I think the best way to overarch this for the folks that who don't know about the weeds we're talking about is just like they're all optional rules that are out there to help. That we don't have to change anything. It's still supposed to integrate completely with the way we're doing it now. Nothing's changing. DMs can integrate whatever ideas and options they want to into their tables. It won't be that foreign to folks, other than a few class upgrades that direly needed them, specifically monks and rangers. I think it's gonna be a great thing for the game. So I'm excited. Maybe the next table we'll dabble in some of that stuff. But so I just got my power back on like just a few minutes ago. So I just have a couple things I have to clean up real quick. If you guys give me maybe 5 minutes before we start, is that okay? I know we wanted to start at 8:30, but I really kind of behind the ball here. I gotta just pick a couple of minis out here, and I'll be right back.
That's
okay.
fine. I gotta take the dog out.
Okay, just 5 minutes. Sorry about that, guys.
Fine.
Hey, Roz.
Yeah.
I'm getting a new deck.
What? My screen keeps freezing.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting a new deck.
A whole new deck you're gonna put on now.
Well, remember how I thought that the deck was just poorly made and
Yeah.
fading real quick? Well,
Yep.
it turns out that deck may be a lot older than we think.
Oh, really? Did you
Or it
talk to
was.
the neighbors?
No. Wanny, which is Quay's husband.
Yeah.
He's the one that I took the melanoma off his back.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah. And
him. Yeah.
and I also got blood on the wall in the office, the procedure room.
It shot out.
I'm sorry?
It shot out.
Yes, it did.
The blood just squirted out of him.
Big geyser.
Yeah. I remember that story.
Yeah. Well, he took the thing down, and the posts end up being white. They had wood covering that. So, I mean, this thing could easily be more than 10 years old. The 2x12s that they used, they ended up splitting a lot of the boards because they did not pre-drill the holes. So it split a lot of these boards. So they're going to have to, the options are replace it or get some 2x4s, dab them on either side of it to reinforce it.
All right, I am back, my friends.
Okay.
So that's kind of like throwing good money after bad
No.
to fix it versus
no.
replacing it.
Well, he's replaced the whole deck. It turns out, where it was put together was the boards were all abutted against each other.
Oh yeah, that's not good.
No.
Well, you have to. Well, there's a way to fix that, but yeah.
Well, the boards were already rotted, so it's a little bit past time to fix that.
Yeah, you put some Trex down, baby.
Well, thought about Trex. Ends up being
Big deck.
About $8,000 for Trex boards and railing, probably around that.
The guy who's putting it together doesn't like the Trex because when they get wet, they get slippery.
Whatever. Who goes out on your deck when it's wet? Don't be dumb.
I do. I
He
do.
does. He cooks
I cook 12 months a year.
out there all the time on the grill.
Whatever. All right. You know I have Trex on my deck. I go out all the time too. It's not a big deal. The guy's selling you. What does he want to sell you?
No, just pressure treated wood.
Well, if you're not going to be in that house more than 4 or 5 years, it'll be fine. It's not slippery wet when wet. Just telling you. You know
Okay.
I've got it. Why
I
don't
know
you,
you do.
you come down? Maybe it'll rain when you're down in 2 weeks. Hey, hey Todd, are you back? Are you here? Oh,
I guess
still
he's
there.
still walking the dog.
I mean, you open the door, the dog goes out, and takes a poop, comes back. we had,
Don't have a fenced-in yard.
my game last week. We have there was a fun moment last week. We had a girl who's a bard. She's like, "Oh, I want to cast. Oh, shit!" And the DM's like, "Oh, you don't have to use a spell slot for that. That's a free action." we were just cracking up on that.
That's a good one.
So that special award I got for kicking in the door.
Yeah,
what
your
does
inspiration
that
point.
do?
So you have an
Yes,
inspiration
what's
point. If you look at your character sheet, Roz,
I see it.
and so like you just
Oh.
click on that. All it just means that any time that you want, when you roll a d20, whether it's a skill check, a saving throw, an attack roll, whatever you want, if it's some sort of d20 roll, if you don't like the roll, you can say, "I'm going to use my inspiration point and roll it again."
Okay, so when we're in dire straits and I roll that 2, that would be a good time to use that.
You could be.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's just whenever you roll the die, you just tell me if you want to roll it, re-roll it. You had absolutely have the opportunity to do it. It'd probably be before you get the result of it. Like if we do a saving throw and you roll a 17 and I say, "Oh, you failed," that'd be too late. But if you roll a 17 and then you say you want to do it, you can definitely re-roll it. And I think on inspiration, you can actually choose which one you would like to take. That's actually a good question. I don't know the answer to that.
It would
Inspiration
seem
is
more appropriate to use.
So if I rolled a 17 and I decide to take that and then I roll a 14, then I could still pick the 17 to stick with the 17. Maybe you're
that
looking.
may not be true. I got to look at that. Inspiration is a very powerful roll, but it actually may not do that. It may just you may just have to do that. You know what? What we're gonna do is we're gonna wait till Mike gets back to help me with that. But I think Dungeon Master's Guide. Where is it? Crap. Todd, are you back yet? 242.
The dog had to take a dump.
Huh?
I'm back.
Mike, I'm in the Dungeon Master's Guide looking under inspiration. There's 2 questions that have come up here.
Okay.
First question. When you have an inspiration point, do you have to tell the DM you're going to use your inspiration point before you hear the result of your roll?
Oh, definitely not.
So you
Well,
hear the,
hold on. You're talking like before you hear you're talking about like
it's a hit
before
or
you
you
roll.
or you failed the no oh you roll against a saving throw. You get a 10. The DM says you failed. Then you can use inspiration, or do you need to roll your 10 and then say I want to use inspiration?
Probably you need to hear before the you hear the results, but inspiration is a little bit different.
Yeah, because it's super powerful.
Yeah, generally with rerolls you have to do stuff before you hear the results, but not always.
Well,
In
basically,
fact,
because-
sometimes you very specifically are supposed to hear the result before you, as part of a direction of doing stuff. I mean, personally, I would say it's fine to hear the result,
Okay.
and then you decide to do inspiration.
The way it reads in the Dungeon Master's Guide is basically inspiration gives you advantage on any d20 roll that you want. So if you want to use it, you can do it, and you can actually roll your first one and then say you want to use inspiration, then it'll give you advantage to roll a second one. And then yes, Rose, you can choose which one of the d20s that you use. So if you roll a 10, you want to use your inspiration point, and then you roll a 7, you can still use the higher of the two rolls. And then it does seem kind of up to the DM whether or not you hear the result or not, whether or not it works. But I think inspiration should be a really powerful tool to encourage players to do, outside of the box stuff. So I think it'd be fine to hear the result and then say, I'm going to use inspiration point on that. Kind of like a luck point.
I felt I owed it to him because he got one of them sucky things off of me the last time we fought him. Least I could do was kick in the door.
That was awesome. That was really cool. I mean, you gave up your whole damage dealing turn to give everybody else an opportunity. That was inspirational. Are you back yet, Todd? Are you ready to go?
I'm good to go. Let's go.
All right, let's go. All right. So last week, if you guys recall, you had met Fall Fark and his little Encephalon Gemule pet Trip, and they presented you with not really a challenging fight, but he had lured you to a geography that was definitely to his advantage, and it was very difficult for you guys all to get shots on him as he stayed in his room and drew Esra into the room. It was just you're all kind of like wedged in that corner. Remember that? Like you're just trying to figure out how you're going to get shots on target and stuff like that. But even given all those advantage that Falfark tried to give himself, he was still really no issue for you guys. I don't think Esra, you didn't even burn a rage point. You just soaked up the damage. There was some fantastic heals put out. There was ridiculous damage put out. Some fantastic play on getting shots on the guy, and you were able to kill him fairly without taking too much damage, and that went fantastic. And then after you searched the rest of the rooms in that area, in fact, let me go back to that map for you guys. Transition. Go back to the map. So, and we kind of fast forwarded, and you had this common room here that you guys saw. It was bordered by 9 small bedrooms. The only one that was occupied was the one that had Falfark in it, and the rest of them had nothing in there of interest. Just a stone bed, rotted blankets, and just falling apart furniture, and nothing else of interest. You did investigate Falfark's room after you killed him, and you found that there's all kinds of paraphernalia regarding a cult of the obelisk, which obviously this guy was had big interest in. And as you went through those paperwork, you realized that the cult of the obelisk is a thing, and there's obviously worshipers out there. Something that you guys all made note of after Corzul did a fantastic investigation and religion check on what was going on there.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Did we ever learn where that blood came from on that chair?
No, you guys never investigated the blood on the chair. Instead, you headed south out of the room, And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you where we stopped last week. If you guys want to turn back around and go look at the blood in the chair, you can. But we did progress this far to this common room. And this long stone table here is broken into pieces. Several metal chests are stacked against the wall. The largest opening leading from this room is choked with rubble. You can see to the right. And skeletal remains of dwarves and mind flayers. And then we did a perception check, and everybody, the first person that saw it was Rose, but everybody ended up seeing this vision where you saw, I don't want to say ghostly figures, but more like, I guess I could even say psychic echoes of a scene that unfolded in front of you that shows a mind flayer fighting a dwarf on the top of this table. And the dwarf smashed down this killing blow onto the mind flayer so hard that it cracked the table in this psychic vision. And then the image of the dwarf retreated into the stacked chests with a triumphant cry and beckoned for Rose to follow. The vision disappeared, and that is where we ended session last week. So, before we move forward, I would like to ask if I forgot anything, if there's any other details that you would like to remind me of, and then we can see what you guys want to do next. I forget anything, Todd?
I don't believe so.
I don't either.
What was this stuff over here to the west? I guess it is.
Those are,
All those
those are all
boxes.
the stacks and stacks of crates. Where are the chests? Let me see. They were stacks of chests.
Look into them? Not yet.
No, I don't think we have.
I think that's where the image is beckoning towards, right?
Yep. That's right.
Well, obviously it beckoned you. Go ahead.
I'd be
will,
trapped. Might want to keep an eye out. Here, have some guidance.
I'll make sure we're safe. That we're safe from anything coming down these stairs behind us here, where we just came from.
I think that makes a ton of sense. Let me see if I can. Oh, that's weird. 1 second. Okay. I'm going to transition to the actual miniature map because everybody's positioning how y'all want. Here, Miss Gloria is definitely hanging out on the stairs.
If not further back.
By the way, you said these. Oh, go ahead.
She's gonna have line of sight on you guys. She's not going up the stairs, but she's gonna be at the bottom of the stairs.
No, it's fine. I'll give you guys plenty of chance to tell me where you want to go here.
By the way, you said these seem like psionic echoes. Does Corzul is psionic?
Yeah.
Does he get any kind of weird vibe from these?
That's a fantastic question. Why don't you? You can give me either Arcana or Insight, whichever you feel is gonna. They might reveal different things to you, but you can do whichever roll you like.
Okay. That's gonna be a 13 on Insight.
Okay.
But
And you have guidance
17.
on Rose already. So yeah. So with your 13
17 on Arcana.
What? Which one were you gonna do?
I've got a 13 on Insight and a 17 on Arcana.
Oh, you wanted to do them both? Okay. All right. Yeah, sure. That's fine. So Arcana.
I mean, I've got the same brain, the same knowledge.
That's fine.
I have both capabilities in my brain.
So Your insight tells you that this was a past event, something that happened, looking at the table and the condition of the table, something that happened possibly even centuries ago. Your arcana tells you that these resonating psionic effects are residue of whatever. You've come across several things in this dungeon already that have been psionically influenced, not to, including Falthark and others. And you feel like the vision that you just saw was another psionic echo that was played for you.
Does Corzul know anything about any kind of effects of these kind of echoes, or is it just like a transient kind of a thing?
Yeah, so I think Corzul, even with those roles, I'm going to go with your Arcana on this one. I think Corzul's starting to understand that, the psionic energies, not just here, but also in the Indigo Sanctum, are just powerful radiance from the far realm that have just been affecting the entire environment. Any of the creatures, you saw those Dwegars that or malformed. You saw Falthark, which was a humanoid that had been misshapen. All of this is coming from some kind of psionic or psychic energy coming from the far realm. And you equate the vision that you just saw to some residual radiant psychic energy that, whether it was from the initial Mind Flayer occupation centuries ago, or from a persistent channeling of psychic energy from the far realm, you probably don't know, but you definitely know this is being influenced outside of the material plane.
Okay. Does Corzul think that these echoes can be physical, or is it purely see-through, just a reflection kind of a thing?
Oh wow, what a fantastic question. What's my dice? Sorry. I'm a little discombobulated. I usually start prepping around 7 and okay. Okay, so I think Corzul, wow, that's great. Yeah, so Corzul, it's both. You have seen this psychic energy manifest itself inside beings that exist in the material plane and mutated them and formed them into bizarre, aberrant creatures. The Oteogs, for example, was a good example that you've seen this psychic energy form a physical, threatening presence. The vision that you just saw does not give Corzul the same impression as though those echoes were something tangible or even threatening. It seemed to be more of a replay of an event that you all witnessed.
Corzul will relay that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't want to go too far, but I think we might be all right here.
Should I do a magic check on that, or check for magic, or whatever, before I go over there?
Sure. Do you have the ability to cast Detect Magic?
Did I do that before?
I think Corzul ran Detect Magic before. I don't remember you casting it. Do you have that spell?
Rose does not have that spell.
Okay. Well, Rose, you can certainly go over and investigate. You can work your skill Arcana or something like that to see if you get any kind of sensation from that standpoint, if you like. But yeah, you don't have the ability to magically detect magic. If that makes any sense.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So Arcana, I've only got a +2 on that. I don't know if I'd be any worth it for me to do that.
Oh well, maybe it will. Maybe it won't. This
Perception.
Yeah.
I got a +7 on perception.
You can just check out the chests if you want to do that.
Okay, I'll go check them out.
All right. So Rose goes over and towards the crate, the chest in the corner. Is anybody going with Rose?
Yes.
Ezra and Queen.
Razul's probably heading over there too, because he doesn't think that these psychic images are necessarily threatening. He's gonna
Right. Yeah, 100%.
go over and kind of assist, checking stuff out, but being wary just in case there's a ambush around here, or
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think Corzul has been in this party long enough to expect an ambush, whatever might be happening. He's kind of ready. What is Pesgoria doing?
She's going to be in that first square in the room with line of sight on what's going on, but somebody's got to guard the rear.
All right.
And she's not about to stick her face there.
Is Uniqua visible or invisible?
Invisible, and she's going to be on the square to the right of Pesgoria.
Okay. Awesome. All right, Rose. As you approach that, and your friends have all come into the room, kind of ready to, obviously expecting the unexpected, right? This is an unusual situation for you. What I need, give me one moment. Is it okay where I placed everybody? I want to make sure I give you guys an opportunity. If you were at my house, is that where you would have put your people? If not, let me know the difference.
honestly, Corzul's probably closer to Rose.
Closer to Rose? Would you like to be here? Right here?
Yeah.
You can jump up on the table if you want to. You know, you can fly too. There's no reason why you're even on the ground if you don't want to.
Is that part of the table steady enough to?
Oh yeah, it would absolutely be steady. This is a heavy stone table that has been crushed in half centuries ago. Any settling that it would come to would completely have settled by now. And yeah, and the ceilings are about 12 feet high. So if Corzul wants to fly, absolutely something Corzul can do.
I think for now he'll just be on the table.
Okay, we'll keep that handy.
Yeah, I haven't actually used any time on the boots yet today.
Yep, that's fine. All right. Okay then. What I need is Pesgoria, as you step into the room, and Rose, you begin to approach the crates. I need everybody to give me a wisdom saving throw.
Let's see. Does it involve? Let's see. Charm, frightened, paralyzed, or restrained?
No.
Is this a spell or magic effect?
Yes.
Okay. Whew. Thank you to my imp.
Okay.
I got a crappy one.
Let me pull up that little thing there. All right, Eshra.
14.
Yours is a fail. Corzul, I'm afraid yours is a fail. Pesgoria, you've succeeded. What'd you get?
I failed. I failed. I rolled an 8, and I have a 4 on wisdom, so I only rolled a 12.
Pesgoria gets advantage against spells and magic effects when within range of her imp. And so I rolled a 20 and a 1.
That's great. And Eshra failed.
14.
Yeah, I think, and then so I just need one for Queen and for unique one.
1 second.
Queen has a wisdom of +2, so that would be a whatever she roll. She actually has a +4 and a wisdom saving throw. So you roll a d20 for Queen, and we'll add 4 to it.
I rolled a 15, so she's got 19.
Okay, that's going to be a success.
16 for Uniqua.
That's going to be a fail. Okay. All right, so this is what happens now that I have the results of that. You guys all walk into the room, and as Rose approaches these chests in the corner, a cacophony of voices begins to ring out behind these chests and just reverberate louder and louder, and the cacophony begins to.
You guys hear that?
Yeah, you're hearing it. Everybody but Pesgoria and Queen have succumbed to this cacophony of voices in your mind. It's everybody except for Pesgoria and Queen have the incapacitated condition.
Oh, good. More incapacitated in this campaign.
At least this wasn't intelligence, right? It's a really high DC, though, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I was going to say, if a 16 fails on an incapacitation, that's
yeah, it was
wonderful
DC,
design.
It was a DC 17. It's okay. It's one of those, at the beginning of your turn, do it again, and then immune to it for 24 hours kind of thing.
And this was not something that was perceptible. We couldn't perceive anything that was going on.
It didn't start until you got within range of the creature who generated it.
I guess I'm indicating that the creature wouldn't have been visible, wouldn't have had line of sight of anything.
It's just actually designedly not.
Okay.
Okay. So what we're going to do now, we are going to roll initiative, so that we can control the flow of action here. Ooh, nice one. Rose?
Oh, hold it. I almost forgot. I have to roll again.
That's right. Oh, even better. What'd you
I
get,
rolled a
Rose?
15 plus I have 5 initiatives, so I got a 20.
Oh, kick ass. All right. And then so Queen also gets a 20. And do you want me to roll for Uniqua, or would you like to roll for her?
I did. She got 8.
8. All right. Ooh, okay. Okay. Incapacitated doesn't mean you can't see what's going on. It just means you can't take actions or bonus actions or reactions and a few other consequences. So you're not like unconscious, but you're definitely can see what happens. And what you see, all you guys see is a ducking out from behind these chests, almost part of the air, is this weird orb creature with these really long tentacles. It's kind of like, the tentacles kind of look like ribbons, just like fly, like if there's a fan behind it, the ribbons are kind of flowing in front of it, but it's moving towards you from around outside of these chests. It kind of looks like this. And you all see it. And where is my mini? Come on. And it goes first, and it moves outside of the chests. And it looks at everybody. And it moves over to, oh yeah, good old Rose. It moves within 15 feet of Rose at least. These tentacle ribbons are really, really long. It has a 15-foot range on it. And it attacks Rose with its tentacles. Its first roll is a 14 to hit, which I don't think makes it. Huh?
That's a miss.
Its second attack is a 28 to hit. So these tentacles lash out at you, Rose, The second one hits you for 8 points of force damage. Not bad. And you guys see these tentacles have whipped out of this floating orb, and they've wrapped themselves around Rose's head. And Rose, you're currently grappled by these tentacles. Okay.
Okay.
And turn this extension off. Now, as a bonus action, these tentacles begin to probe into your mind, and it starts to pull out painful memories from your past. And I need
That's
you to
not
make
very nice.
I need you to make an intelligence saving throw.
10 plus 2 is 12.
Okay. Yeah, with the 12, you try to resist these painful memories from your past dredging up. Can you think of any painful memories from Rose's past that might be causing you so much pain right now? As this thing has really just found the worst thing in your past and brought it to the surface.
Freaking spider. Came with the spiders. They were miserable when they attacked us. Oh, and look, it's lightning.
Shut up. Why is my thing doing this? All right, turn you off.
My worst experience is the seizure I'm about to have.
Shut up. I'm working on it. I'm not Steven Spielberg over here. I'm not the. Okay. So what is the memory that this thing is dredging up?
Was the spiders where we met the big green dragon? All the spiders that were in that little neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
They were not my favorite thing.
Oh yeah, those green spiders. They were so annoying. Yeah, and they came back to see you again when you actually killed the dragon. And as these memories dredge up from you, Rose, you take 24 points of psychic damage.
Ouch.
That's not good.
No, it's okay.
That's very bad.
I gotta get something. I'm sorry.
Okay, and so that is the end of the intellect snare's turn. Next up is Rose. At the beginning of your turn, you can repeat your saving throw, your wisdom saving throw, to try to end the incapacitated condition. So go ahead.
That's my only.
At the beginning of your turn, you can roll a.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. 18 plus 4, 22.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, with that saving throw, not only have you broken yourself, these images of these spiders have come out of your brain, and it just has excited you so much. The adrenaline is pumping, and this intellect snare did not realize that dredging up these emotions were going to be so powerful, and you have broken free of its cacophony of minds. And now you are no longer incapacitated, and you can take your full turn.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
You are still grappled, which means you cannot move unless you use an action to get yourself ungrappled. However, you can do anything else that you want. You can take your action, your bonus action. What would you like to do?
If I'm grappled, then I can't take an action, can I?
Oh, yeah. A grapple just means you can't move. Your movement is 0.
I can't change squares.
That's correct.
Okay.
But you can
I can
shoot
still
them.
shoot the hell
You
out
can
of
shoot
it.
them twice.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
This guy.
That's what we're
These
doing.
tentacles are still they're still touching your brain. They're just not. You're just not.
Yes.
You're still grappled,
Okay.
but you're not incapacitated. So you can take an action.
So I'm putting Hunter's mark on that suck first and foremost.
As a bonus action, you put Hunter's mark on him. Perfect. You're getting so good at this, Rose. I love it. And then what?
Then I'm going to use my sharpshooter.
All right. Plus 10 to damage, minus 5 to hit. Great.
Yes. 16 minus 5 is 11, plus my 11 is 22 to hit.
All right, so 22 does hit.
And then we're going to roll the 8 for damage. 5 plus 6 is 11, plus the 10 from the sharpshooter is 21,
Okay, keep going.
plus a d6 for the hunter's mark is another 5, 26.
Uh-huh. Unfortunately, I don't really
And-
see an opportunity to apply sneak attack damage here, and you've already used your bonus action to
Oh,
put Hunter's
sure.
Mark on it. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, no, she totally has sneak attack. A queen is adjacent to it. An ally is within 5 feet of it.
I'll give you that. I mean, that's fine. Yeah, we can do that. Go ahead and add your sneak attack damage to it. It's maybe a little bit more than 5 feet, but it's definitely within melee range of this creature. So if you want to add your
Well,
sneak
then
attack
20
dice to that as well, that's fine.
That's another d6, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm at 26 plus, big whoop, 1, 27.
Good hit.
And
That's just your
I
first
can
attack.
I can still do queen or no?
Well, use your bonus action to apply Hunter's Marks. You
Okay.
can't use your bonus
No,
action
I-
until
oh, oh.
Queen.
I think she means the spitting acid thing.
The what?
The spitting acid, like as Queen's reaction, adding a d6 damage. I think she's referring to that.
Tell Queen to use its reaction. Let me just. I'm sorry. Let me just check that real quick. Maybe you don't have to tell him to do that at all. Yeah, it just uses Queen's reaction. It doesn't have anything to do with your bonus action. Yes, you can add Queen's D8 of acid damage to that as well.
I think it's a d6.
6.
Is it a D6? It is a D6. Yes.
Okay, so what was I at? 27 plus queen. It's 2 more for 29 altogether on that roll.
29. So 2 more points, and that's acid damage. Okay.
Second roll.
Hold on. Let me just make sure I got this all right. Immunities. 29 damage. Yeah. Great hit. Blew it up.
Okay, so sharpshooter again.
Okay.
The 13 minus 5 is going to leave me with 8 plus 11 is 19 to hit.
19 does hit.
Okay, 8. And I got an 8.
All right.
And 10 for the sharpshooter is 18. 6 is my extra, so that's 24.
That's correct.
Hunter's mark is only 1 more, 25.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's it this time, right?
Right.
Or no? Do I still have that
Right.
other advantage thing?
Well, you got to use your sneak attack on this turn, so that's been spent. Also, you have used Queen's reaction, so that's been spent. So I think that 25 is your total on the second attack. But let me
Okay.
tell you, an attack of holy crap, 54 on 1 turn has just wrecked this thing. That was amazing.
1 man, 1 woman killing machine.
Yeah, you really are. You're hard to handle. Okay. Now it's Queen's turn. This is where you use your bonus action already to apply your Hunter's Mark. You can't really tell Queen to do anything, so Queen is just going to take the dodge action to make sure if it gets attacked, it has advantage, or the attack has disadvantage on it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Next up would be Korzul. Korzul, you're incapacitated. You may roll a Wisdom saving throw. The DC is 17 to break out of the incapacitation permanently.
It's a negative.
Okay. All right. So, Korzul, you are seeing Rose just unleash a devastating attack. You see that she's been hurt with all this, like almost her face is wrinkled as these tentacles have sucked energy out of her. And you want to do something, but unfortunately you cannot. You are still incapacitated. And we turn to now Pesgoria, who is not incapacitated.
And Pesgoria is going to unleash an Eldritch Blast.
Okay. I love it. Roll to hit.
All right, here's the first one. 13 to hit.
A 13 does not hit.
All right, here's the second one. Is a 20 to hit.
A 20 does hit.
And that does 8 damage.
Okay.
And Pesgoria is going to just step back into the stairwell.
And Pittsgori's going to move back into the stairwell.
Just one step. She wants to stay within range of. Yep.
Yeah, I got you.
That's
I love
it.
it.
She's not going to push back because Rose still grappled.
And well, they're technically both still grappled.